Just recently, I got the chance to check out Busch Tampa, which is now one of my favorite theme parks. It is a great coaster collection with coasters such as Montu, Kumba, Cheetah Hunt, and of course Iron Gwazi, which, trust me, we're gonna talk about. Alright, but with that out of the way, let's get into it. So, this ride is actually quite a fun kiddie coaster, and I got 2 rides on it. One in the front and one in the back. Now, why I got 2 rides on a kiddie coaster, you may be wondering? Well, that's simply because kiddie coasters are the best thing on the planet. I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, the only thing it does good is a few small drops, and the rest is just turn after turn after turn after turn. The more I describe it, the more I want to move it down, so let's move on before this becomes my least favorite roller coaster. Even though I got my first rollback on this coaster, and yes, I know this ride rolls back every ride, but I mean I got an actual rollback on it. When you're supposed to have enough speed to make it to the top, well, we didn't have enough speed to get to the top. Why am I explaining this to you? I'm sure you know what a rollback is. Anyway, I went to this ride thinking it would either be the worst coaster I've ever rode, or the second worst coaster I've ever rode. Mainly because it's a Skyrocket 2, and we all know what I think of the other Skyrocket 2 I've rode. Tempesto is the worst. Tempesto is so bad. The comfort color is so bad. Tempesto is the worst! Because I hate those things so much. Quite mid. Just know, there's a pretty big difference between this and Tigris. Scorpion is actually quite fun. I love the vertical loop and the helix is quite intense. However, this ride is way too short. I know this is kind of weird for me to say. I mean, look at all the short rides I love. But at least these rides feel more complete, but Scorpion feels to end a lot too soon. Now, there is a major difference between this ride and Scorpion, even though they are only 1 spot apart. Cobras Curse truly is an awesome ride, and is very unique too. The elevator lift is awesome. Of course, the Cobra statue is incredible, and it has a great layout. I honestly can't think of really any flaws with Cobras Curse, and only 2 reasons I put it this low is because it's not very thrilling, but I'm not going to complain about that because it's a family coaster, and honestly, it's a crazy family coaster. I also put this low because the other rides are better. Now again, this is another big difference between this and Cobras Curse. But the difference isn't as big as you would think. But anyway, Kumba is awesome. The vertical loop, awesome. Dive loop, awesome. 0 G-roll, incredible! And of course, the Cobra roll and corkscrews are quite whippy, and the tunnel was a nice surprise. And that final helix was very intense. This is my second favorite B&M sit-down. Keep in mind I've only been on 2, the other being Hulk. But even though it's my second favorite B&M sit-down, the ride is still incredible, and pro tip, ride in the back. It is so much more intense and whippy than the other rows. This is my second favorite dive coaster. Really, the only thing it's missing is a second inversion. But let's look into what it does have. An awesome hangover, which lasts a long time. An incredible first drop, which can give tons of floater airtime. A nice Immelman, a great second drop, which gives, again, some very nice floater airtime. And then the drop goes into an underwater tunnel, and then into a picturesque splashdown. Sheikra truly is underrated, and same with all dive coasters. Literally, everyone says these are horrible rides, but they really aren't. I mean, these rides are just so fun. Okay, I kind of got a bit off topic there. But long story short, Sheikra is really awesome. Montu is my favorite B&M invert. It's got the length, the inversions, the theming, and of course, the intensity. This ride is one of the most intense coasters I've rode, and yes, I've been on Intimidator 305. This ride has tons of awesome and intense inversions. My favorite is the 0G roll, but I do have to point out that bat wing. It is my second favorite inversion on the ride, and it is very intense, and has a little bit of whip. This ride is truly incredible and my favorite B&M at the park. But 2 coasters still beat it, and number 2 is... Going into Cheetah Hunt, I thought this ride would be awesome. That was an understatement, because this ride is awesome! The launches are the most powerful LSM launches I've been on, and my favorite LSM launches I've been on. And yes, this ride beats rides such as Velocicoaster's launches. The Wingcatcher Tower is honestly quite awesome. It's pretty steep, and you get a very nice view. The Heartline roll gives tons of hang time, and the whip is insane. Look at this. Look at all those S-bends. These back-to-back S-bends may even be better than the snaps of I-305, mainly for the fact that they are just back to back. Also, the airtime hill on this gives some great airtime. It can seriously be some ejector. This truly is perfect. However, 1 coaster still beats it, and number 1 may not be a surprise. Yeah, it's not a surprise, but number 1 is... This is my number 2 overall, and by the way, I've been on 92 coasters, and even though Steel Vengeance is way better than Iron Gwazi, this ride is still incredible. The drop is absolutely insane. The outer bank is amazing, giving some truly sustained ejector airtime. The death roll is amazing in both the front and back, but in the back is super, and I mean super, whippy. The overbank is snappy, and the wave turn gives a crazy amount of sustained ejector airtime. And the final airtime bits of the ride are definitely the most powerful. However, they're not the most sustained. I do also want to point out the stall. People say this is a dead spot on the ride, and I have no idea why. It has some nice hang time, and it's not long where it takes away from the pacing and airtime, but it's also not too short to the point where there's no hang time. The ride's only true flaw is how it is quite short. I mean, it is literally only half the duration of Steel Vengeance. But in its short duration, it is one of the best layouts in the world. I'm definitely going to make a review on Iron Gwazi, because this ride makes coming out to Busch Gardens Tampa alone. And if you have not ridden this masterpiece, then you definitely need to sometime. Alright, that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye!